and we are wrestling with AEW Revolution 2023. Takes place later today. Um, Depending on when you're listening to this, it could be happening right now. It's in San Francisco, California, at the Chase Center. Um, Looking at this card, um, honestly, I don't think much of it. If I'm being honest. Either way, I could probably skip it. But how do you feel about the card?
It's an okay card. I mean, I'm clearly not going to pay money for it. Like, never pay money for AEW pay-per-views. But I mean, yeah, it's a decent event. I mean, you would think that Tony would put more behind their first pay-per-view event in California.
You would think, and it just seems like other than one, maybe three of the matches where we knew was going to happen, the rest of the card was kind of just thrown together.
I mean, including a match with a really huge gimmick attached to it.
In a state that it don't, in a state that it doesn't,
That
that
wasn't that wasn't the match I was referring to because that match was made weeks ago.
yeah.
I'm referring to the fact that we're getting AEW's version of a Buried Alive match.
Oh
Christian Cage and Jungle Boy.
yeah. Well, let's talk about the pre-show match. Mark Briscoe and the Lucha Bros wrestle Ari Daivari and Josh Woods and Tony Nese with Mark Sterling in a six-man tag match. Honestly, this looks like the most interesting match out of the whole card, and it's not even on the main show.
Mm-hmm. Ari. I just like that it rhymes.
I'm surprised they haven't renamed him Ariel Helwani.
Ariel, I'm going to hell, Wani. Uh, I mean, okay for this. I mean,
But
yay.
I mean, still, who's gonna win the match? But who wins the match?
You know, no matter who is facing off against Ari Davar and the varsity athletes, they'll win. Whoever the opponents are, the varsity athletes will always lose.
All right.
So the Lucha Bros and Mark Briscoe. If anything, this kind of shows you that it's it's. I think it's really time to for Penta and Ray to really pursue those singles careers
I mean,
because
considering how light they are on, major stars, and Penta is a major single star outside of his tag team. I wouldn't be mad at MJF versus Penta.
I mean I mean Penta and Phoenix weren't an actual like tag team before being put together in AEW, right?
Yeah, they had tag team. They were AAA tag team champions for like years.
Ah, that doesn't count. Um,
So things that happen in Mexico don't count.
Yes, like the time I got Montezuma's revenge. Uh, yeah, Penta needs a push towards the main event. Uh, Ray probably needs to earn it a little bit more. You know, go after the TNT title, um,
Yeah.
and then work his way. But either way, Mark Briscoe and the Lucha Brothers win.
All right. According to the list I'm looking at, the first match: Christian Cage versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry, in a final Brett Burial match. Ooh, ominous. This sounds like more of something you do to CM Punk rather than have in a match.
Well, the rumor is, uh, um, the rumor is Christian Cage leaving AEW.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, so they're literally bringing out the Golden Shovel. All right, so Jungle Boy for the win.
Wait, hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. I just wanna. He. Okay.
Yes, no.
Ah, okay. Uh, Christian, don't don't hold me to this exactly, but um, we we could be seeing uh Christian at the Hall of Fame.
I mean, if there is a Hall of Fame, what are they giving Edge another Hall of Fame ring?
No, it would be Christian on his own. And and now Finley is at that top of the list too. So
Hmm. All right. The next match, Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks, the Hogan Street.
talk about screwing up a push. Good God. You know, I didn't like Ricky Starks, and then I liked Ricky Starks. Now I can't stand Ricky Starks again. You make him, you make him appear like he's on top of the world, and then he just ends up jobbing out to the jassholes.
I mean, isn't that
Uh,
what Chris Jericho does? He gets somebody that's more popular than him and says, "Hey, I'm gonna do a rivalry with them," and then brings them down to his level.
but then again, but this feud has been uh
It hasn't done
so
Ricky any
un
favors.
yeah, it's been so uneven and unbalanced that I don't know if Ricky winning is even gonna matter.
I mean, it sort of
Yeah,
matter when what is his name, Eddie Kingston beat him a couple of years ago. I mean, actually, no, that was a year ago. A year ago at that this is the same event. Wow. And literally a year later, and Eddie Kingston quits.
so the curse of the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Apparently. That being said, if Ricky should win, and I think Ricky will win, at some point Jericho has to, has to lose to somebody that isn't action spaghetti.
or race car ravioli.
I believe it's either cannoli scooter. Alright, um, next match we got, the Elite, Kenny Omega, and the Bucks versus the House of Black. Who wins, Scooter?
I just I think they just need to get rid of these trios titles. They're not working.
Well, I mean,
Um,
they literally cut CM Punk for those titles, so,
I would have loved to see just Omega versus Malachi.
I think everybody would like to see that match.
But I mean, there's a reason why there aren't many six-man tag titles. And because the idea is that they're for stables. But eventually you end up throwing random groups together. And while that might work for the tag team division, a six-man tag, you know, okay, yeah, challengers don't win it this week. Next week they'll try it again with a different partner, and it becomes just one revolving, door of matches that don't matter, titles that don't matter, and talent really kind of being misused.
You would think
Either
AEW
way,
would have a problem with misusing talent.
either way, uh, I mean, we're I mean, Kenny's probably going to get back to being in the singles picture. So yeah, I think the House of Black takes it here.
I'm gonna say the Elite. There's no way that they won those titles back in January in that big, hoopla that they made out of it, just to lose those titles a month later to the House of Black. So the Elite. Alright, next match. Jamie Hayter defending the AEW Women's Championship against Soraya and Ruby Soho. This definitely seems drawn together, if you ask me.
Actually, this is one of the feuds where AEW has actually really developed it.
I mean, I think the story there was Hayter and Baker, um, Soraya and Tony, and Soho and Willow. That was kind of where they were going, and then
Well,
Soraya, who only had one match, gets a title shot.
I mean, well, since they put Willow in ROH now, um, yeah, the idea of okay, you have the AEW original, you have the AEW outsider, and then you have
The Runaway.
the one in the middle who is a half outsider, half original in Ruby. It's a very interesting dynamic. I just hope they let the match play out as is. No surprises, no debuts. Just let it happen, and I mean, otherwise, are we gonna see Paige in another handicap match this time against two women instead of men?
Hmm. So who wins this one?
Uh, uh, the company that makes Jergens, they win. Their stock's gonna go up through the roof after this match. Um, unless they do something really stupid and have Britt cost Jamie the title, Jamie's walking out with the women's title.
I couldn't agree more. Alright, John Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page in a Texas death.
Match.
Nope, it's just a
Just,
Texas death.
just Texas Death.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
In San
all right.
Francisco.
So I mean, if it was a San Francisco death match, you would need a cable car, um, lots of rainbow streamers, um, and a lot of people going, "Yes, Queen." Um, I'm I'm wondering, as AEW fully explained what their Texas death match is going to be like, because the traditional Texas death match is you get the pinfall and then you have a certain amount of time to get up. Usually it's a count of 10. So you got to get a pin and then you got to make sure they stay down by knockout. They get up, the match continues again. Uh,
I think
you know,
the stipulation is, if John Moxley just collapses from being anemic from bleeding so much, or Hangman Page gets another concussion, because that kind of seems the way this is heading.
hemo, hemophilia is running wild, brother. We're gonna need 10, 10 pints of AB negative on hold stat.
Yeah, basically. I mean, this match is definitely going to be sponsored by the Red Cross.
Bloody murder, bloody murder, bloody murder. It's now a wrestling match.
I mean, they did. Okay, I will give them this. They did build this story. It was an interesting story. The reason that they were fighting made sense. That being said, who going this far into a rivalry with these two guys, who does it really benefit?
Yeah, I thought this was done one match ago.
Right.
I mean, I mean, when AEW does something like this, it usually means something else is happening.
Well, I mean, if John Moxley wins, what did he really accomplish? He beat somebody that he's beaten before. It was more bloodier than it usually is, but he got that W. Didn't
Oh,
Hangman Page get his redemption in the first match?
I mean, we thought he did.
Is this basically not knowing what to do with these guys, so just keep them together for a little while longer?
I mean, unless this is a way for the Dark Order to break out, then there's no reason for another, Hangman Mox match.
But here we are, Texas Death in San Francisco. Um, get that grave ready. For two.
um, you know what? I'm gonna say neither of them win.
Spontaneous combustion.
No, they get a double pin, and then they're both counted down. And then we get another Page Box match. This time, an exploding barbed wire light bulb, kendo stick, table thumbtack uh, match surrounded by four tanks of live piranhas with three giant man-eating lions hanging above the ring, waiting to drop down.
I mean, you make that joke, but that sounds like a fantastic match.
Sponsored by PETA.
Cool. Gotta get those sponsors in. Um, Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I don't necessarily care a lot about this match. That being said, I think Hangman's gonna win. Alright, Samoa Joe versus Wardlow for the AEW TNT Championship. Now that they actually put some effort and thought into this match, which I actually appreciate. And I want to see who wins. Um, that being said, who do you think wins who?
I mean, they put so much into Wardlow, uh, uh, into this that they're equating Wardlow to a literal Samson, that he's nothing without his hair. Um, I mean, honestly, I could see and make cases for both men winning. I could see and make cases for both men losing. Uh, Wardlow losing so he could finally get that the title match he has likely earned from MJF, considering.
He's the only guy he hasn't beaten at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I
so
continue.
yeah. So God. I'm gonna say Joe to retain.
I say Joe to retain and Powerhouse Hobbs to win on Wednesday.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. The Guns. The Fatal Four Way Tag Team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. The Guns versus the Acclaim versus Triple J versus Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. Yeah, a main event in any Tokyo Dome. Um, Even the gas station. Um, Scooter, who wins the match?
I mean, if we don't have like Danhausen and his guys singing the Ass Boys, uh, I will be disappointed. Um, I mean, there's going to be comedy spots galore in this.
With more feud
Um,
than one.
I honestly don't think the Gun should have had the tag titles to begin with. Um, unless they somehow got their father to double cross the Acclaim.
Right.
Um,
Can you get have Daddy Ass over turn on the Acclaim at this point, considering how over they are?
no, no. and I kind of want to say Orange Cassidy and Danhausen.
What, for like shits and giggles?
Yeah, because I'd love to see Danhausen's reaction, especially when Danhausen himself thinks he's not going to win.
Considering how many tag teams they have, and they're just throwing Danhausen in the tag team, what does that say about everybody else that's in the tag team in AEW?
Eh, well, true. But then they split the best friends, or rather they split the two teams in the best friends. Um, so
I say the Guns to retain. I mean, this is a fatal four-way tag team match with two actual tag teams, and Jeff Jarrett and Danhausen. That's kind of how I see this. And the main event, the last match, the AEW World Championship match, 16-minute Iron Man match, MJF versus Bryan Danielson. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to. I don't really have a lot of desire to actually see this match. I'm gonna speed it up to the last 15 minutes, and I'm gonna see what happens for that last 15 minutes. And what happened in the 45 minutes before that couldn't kill less. Scooter, your thoughts?
I mean, this is I bet we end up seeing something along the lines of Bryan Danielson taking a commanding lead, and then MJF gets himself disqualified, but keeps Danielson down so much that he just gets repeated pinfalls.
Is that even allowed?
Yeah, there's nothing saying there's a rest period in between falls.
I guess.
I mean, the the whole thing about the, this is that does MJF have it in him to go an hour?
Sure. I guess. No. Is is this match basically Tony Khan giving into Bryan Danielson's wishes to have an Iron Man match? Is that really all this really is? Because I don't think anybody was clamoring for a 60-minute Iron Man match in 2023.
Yeah,
Do we?
yeah.
Does Bryan Danielson bleed?
Oh yeah. I mean, considering we're at the 1 year anniversary of Punk and MJF.
Was that a year ago?
Yep, Revolution last year.
Hmm.
And yeah, Brian Mox versus Danielson.
Yeah, that's right.
Uh, this is Danielson's second attempt at becoming AEW World Champion. Expect Matt to take every shortcut there is. Um,
Are you gonna watch the whole match, the whole 60 minutes, or are you gonna speed it up for the to the last 10,
well,
20
well
minutes?
I'm not going to have the ability to speed it up.
Oh, you're gonna watch it
Consider,
live.
consider I'll have it on the background.
Ah,
Uh,
you poor bastard.
I mean, but I just don't see. I don't see Danielson walking out with the title.
Me neither. So MJF to retain.
Bingo.
Alright, so how many here? We got one, two, three, four. There's five out of 9 matches. There's 5 stipulation matches or gimmick matches. If you're counting the triple threat and the fatal 4-way, two are definitely going to be bloody because it's a Texas death and a burial match. This is kind of on brand for AEW now.
Yeah.
Alright. Next, I think that'll conclude our coverage of AEW Resolution or Revolution or um, Evolution. They see the light in the sand. Um, and yeah, this will conclude this episode as a whole. Join us next week as we do a review of all the things that happened for this pay preview. Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, or on YouTube and Castbox. Of course, this was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Pale White Coffee. Um, Join us this Tuesday and Wednesday as we interview Mars the Specialist, and on Wednesday, Alyssa Marina. Um, and then again, yeah, next Saturday. And of course, you can follow the show at Wrestling with Epo on Twitter and Instagram for information on who went to intervene, when went to intervene, them links to those interviews, and a hell of a lot more. Um, you can follow me personally at JamesJ993. Where can we find Scooter?
As always, find me on Twitter at Scooter Dust. The remix still up in the air as pertains to the future of the remix. Uh, and of course, you can revel in the entire campaign I did with the Smoking Dragons, along with Rico Constantino Jr. and the rest of the Smoking Dragons clan. Twitch.tv /Smoking Dragons. And I can announce that we will be getting a season 2 of our campaign, uh, starting at uh, starting this upcoming fall.
Will Phineas Cormac find love?
Who's Phineas Cormac?
Isn't that your guy that you have?
No, his name is Cordicus Tarkin.
That guy too. Takes place in Seattle. Looking for love.
No, it actually takes place in the Isle of Cesteros
Cool
because
beans.
yeah, it's Tommy Wiseau influenced.
For Kaliko Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hey, folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show. Support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.